Hi there, and welcome to yet another edition of Learn Maltese with Dialogues. We're going to take a look at a dialogue that you see here on the screen. It's a little bit longer, so there's more. And then we're going to read it, we're going to translate it sentence by sentence, word by word, and then read it again. If you want to have a PDF of this dialogue so you can follow it via the PDF, feel free to click the link in the description. You can download it there for free. No account. You don't need to make an account or anything. Alright, so let's go. Let's read the dialogue and then translate it. So, budgie. Au, inti alright? Iva illallu. Grazie tal-appoġġ. Ix-xufier tal-linja diġà beda jsuq qabel kulħadd kien bileda. Lanqas kien edukat, qal li mhux bank. Għaliex? Ma kellix inqas minn 20 euro. U ejja, kemm aħna sfortunati llum. Almenu għażel id-direzzjoni tajba. Kieku kont l-imqallem tiegħu. Għandek raġun, ara, qabeż waqfa tal-biża. Taħseb li nesa? Mela, in-nies urewlu jdejhom għal-waqfa u fl-istess ħin isuq malajr wisq. Mbagħad m'hemm xejn li nistgħu nagħmlu. Vera, ix-xufier hu waħdu. Hemm ħafna nies fit-toroq illum. Iva nispera li mhux se jkollna aċċident. Mill-inqas għandna vantaġġ wieħed. Ix-xarabanks huma b'sabbħithom. Kemm inti ċinika llum? Il-karozza tal-linja se tieqaf isa. Move back, please. M'hemmx spazju. Għalfejn qed jgħid dan? Forsi ma jistax jara wara tax-xarabank. Dejjem bl-avventuri, tal-linja. Fl-aħħar mill-aħħar, aħna ħajjin. Alright, there was a bit of English here. As you can see, move back, please. This is the Maltese version, but I wanted just to make it a bit more realistic. And you will know why while we're explaining the dialogue. If you already not know it, probably you already know it if you're in Malta. Alright, go. So let's go to the first thing here. Budgie. What does budgie mean? Budgie means to sit or to put. And here it's in the imperative. And if you don't know the imperative, it's the first time you see the imperative. Well, the imperative is the basic form you use to make the present tense. For example, here you have taħseb, you think. If you want to conjugate to think in the present tense, in the singular, then you're going to say naħseb, taħseb, jaħseb, taħseb, and aħseb is the imperative, like think. Alright, so budgie, that's the imperative form, the command of saying sit. Ow, that's just there because someone is getting hurt. Inti alright? Are you okay? Or are you? Inti, you are. Alright? Alright? And this is one of the words that are taken from English and written phonetically. So alright, here alright, it comes from alright, but it's written phonetically. Maybe you know the word mobile. It's also written phonetically and comes from English. Alright? Well, that's in Maltese. Iva, illallu. Yes. Illallu is... it's a swear word, but a really, really nice one. It's something you could say with your family or informal environments. Illallu. So it's not a bad word or anything. Grazie tal-appoġġ. Thanks. Tal of the appoġġ, support, but actually it means thanks for the support. So grazie tal-appoġġ, very nice phrase. Use it very often when someone helps you or supports you or anything. Grazie tal-appoġġ. Ix-xufier tal-linja diġà beda jsuq qabel kulħadd kien bileda. Ix-xufier, you maybe recognize their chauffeur, and that's a driver, and yes, that's what it means. The driver is ix-xufier. Ish, that's the article. And if your word starts with sh, then you change the il into the sh. Alright, let me quickly look for an article that starts with il. Well, there isn't any. I don't see any. Maybe if we move a little bit below, il carrozza. There, that's the regular article. It's not a sh, so we add il. There are some other ones, like the D here, I direzioni, that changes the il into a D. Good. So, chauffeur ta linea di Giabeda, the bus driver, ta linea, one of those weird words. There are a few words to say the bus, but ta linea is one of those words maybe you recognize here. Trick to remember. You see line here. Okay, buses drive in lines. So ta linea means bus. So ta linea, the bus driver. Déjà, already. If you know French, déjà sounds very similar. Beda, he started. So the bus driver already started. Su, he drives. So together, a little. If you're saying something in the past tense and you have two verbs, only the first verb is in the past tense. Beda is the past tense. The present tense would be chauffeur ta linea diga yipta isu. He already starts to drive. But here, don't forget to conjugate this he drives, even though in English he starts to drive. And in other languages it would be an infinitive, but no, not in Maltese. Maltese loves exceptions, right? So, but this is not an exception. This is how it's supposed to be in Maltese. So, the bus driver already started to drive. Abel, before, kulhat, everyone, keen was, bileda, seated. Kulhat, you recognize kul here, every. For example, kulim keen, everywhere. So kul, that's written in one word with those typical words like everywhere, everyone, etc., etc. It would be written in two words. If you would have another, for example, kul chauffeur, every driver, then it would be written in two words. But kulhat is often used, so maybe that's why it became one word. Don't know, not sure. Keen was, bileda, also one of those strange words. Eda, maybe you know the present continuous, so he is working or he is studying. In Maltese, you would usually, and I put another one here, ed jait, he is saying. Ed is not conjugated, jait is conjugated. You see the J here, he is saying. Ed, that's the short form, and you can use it both for the singular, plural, men, women, everything. Ed. However, there is a long version, and that's here Eda for women. Eda. And well, so Eda tijd, she is saying. And the bil here, you know, maybe with objects, with being, with the present continuous. Yeah, and that's really weird. Bileda actually means seated. So it's really hard to find some kind of reason why this means seated, but okay. So the bus driver already started to drive before everyone was seated. Bileda. Good. Lan as, kien educat al limush bank. Lan as, this is to indicate it's going to be in the negative, not even. You could translate it as not even. Keen, he was, educat, educated, or well, behaving properly, something like that. He wasn't even being nice. Al, he said, li, that, mush, he is not, bank, a bank. So he wasn't even being nice. I mean, he said he's not a bank. Alish, why? Why did he say he's not a bank? Makalish in as min 20 euro. Makalish, I did not have in as less min than 20, as you may have guessed, euro. So pay attention, very similar to euro, but with a W here. Obviously, some people say 20 euro, even Maltese people, Maltese people sometimes say 20 euro instead of 20 euro. 20 is, well, the proper Maltese 20. Min also when you're comparing, and you're using the comparative, min than. So nicer than or less than here, or more beautiful than, etc., etc. Makalish, I did not have a trick to study Kelly. I had. You could think I did not have, or I had. Excuse me, I had Kelly on the phone. That's how I remembered Kelly. I had Kelly on the phone. So then you know Kelly means I had. Same so for Gandhi. This is Andek, but Andi is I have. I always thought, well, I have Gandhi. Okay, and then Andi means I have. So I have Gandhi. But okay, these are little tricks. All right, okay. So ueya, come on, and come on, literally. Kem ahnas fortunatelum. How or how much or many? Ahna, we are, sfortunati, unlucky, illum, today. So together, come on, we're so unlucky today. And kem is often used to express something like that, like how unlucky we are today, or we're so unlucky today. Good, so kem. And kem, standing alone, would mean how much. So if you're in a shop in Malta and you want to ask for how much you have to pay, simply use kem. How much or how many. But again, also used to say, oh, we're so blah blah blah. We have another one here, Gementichinica illum. This is going to be the same, but that's for just in a bit. Be patient. Gemahnas fortunati illum. All right, illum. You might have seen it written with an I in front, illum, but the I is dropped when you have a vowel at the end of the word before. So, Gemahnas fortunati illum. If it was a consonant, then I would have written an I here. Good. Almeno asal I direzioni taiba. At least, almeno, asal, he chose, I direzioni, the direction, taiba, good. So at least he chose the right direction. So they don't have really high expectations for the bus driver. I'm sure the bus driver is doing his best, but the passengers that are talking here aren't really happy with the bus driver. Direzioni, direction, if a word ends with action or something like that, it's often written like this with double Z and then yun, something like that. Good, you might see it often. Good. Kiku kont limalem tiao. Kiku, if, kont, I were or you were, lim alem, the boss, tiao, his. So if I were his boss, so kiku means the same as yak, but is a bit more general and a bit more imaginative. And here, obviously, you would use kiku. If I were his boss, in the situation that I may one day be his boss, but it's not. So kiku then. Kiku kont. And how do you know kont? I was, you were. Is it I was or you were? Well, that you need to know from the context. And here, well, I think it's obvious. If I were his boss, you won't say if you were his boss. Doesn't really sound right. So kont, I was. Andek rajun. you are right. Literally, you have, andek, rajoun, reason. So, yeah, literally, but obviously you're going to say, you are right. Like, if you were his boss, you would do something to him. Ara, that means look, but in the imperative, just like we've seen at the beginning of the dialogue. Let me go up a little bit. Budgie, that's the imperative, the command version of the verb. You maybe know Nara, I see, Tara, you see, Yara, he sees, and so on. Ara, look or see, is sometimes used just in between sentences, like look, just like in English. Look, I have something to tell you, but you're not really asking to look. But here it could mean look, because Abes Wafa, he jumped a bus stop. So he skipped a bus stop. Abes, he jumped. Wafa, bus stop. Talbiza. Talbiza, literally of fear, but to express that you're surprised about something. Biza, fear. Wafa, bus stop, maybe you've heard it when you're, well, when I was driving I wasn't driving myself, but when I was in the bus stop, I would often hear Il Wafa li Miss Iya, and then the name of the bus stop. That would mean the bus stop that is coming is that bus stop. So Wafa, one of those words that you might, when you're in the bus, always try to listen to this and look at what the signs are saying. Very interesting information. Also because it's translated, you can try to translate what you see in the bus. And Wafa, well, we'll probably be somewhere there in the bus and on the signs. Good, but let's go back to the dialogue. Tahseb li Nessa. Do you think that Nessa, he forgot? Tahseb, you think that, and then Nessa. Nessa, tricky one because it starts with an N, and you may think, this is conjugated in the present tense, like nahseb. But no, past tense, he forgot. Good. Mela, obviously a word, the first word you learn. Well, inis ureudo ideum al wafa. Well, the people showed him their hands at the bus stop. In Nice, the people, one of those words that changes also the first letter here of the article, showed him, ureu, they showed, lu, to him. So that's in one word. Yes. Their hands, eat is hand. Ideum, their hands, or their hand. It here, the I here, it changes it to a J when it's in front of or when it's behind a word that ends with a vowel. So they showed him their hands at the bus stop. At Wafa, we already know that bus stop. And is there. Good. Uflis hin zoek malaiwis. And in fl, nd actually, same, and then hin time, and at the same time, literally and in the same time, but okay. In English we say at the same time. Isu, we have already seen this one here. He drives. Malai, quick or quickly. Wis, too, like with a double O. And at the same time, he's driving too quickly. So while the people show their hands at the bus stop, and at the same time, he's driving way too quickly, or he's driving too fast. Good. This bus driver, oh my god. Umbaat, mem shenli nistau namlu. Umbaat, well, that's a filler word like well, a little bit like mela, umbaat, or then, well, umbaat. Mem shenli nistau namlu. There is nothing that we can do. You see here, me. Why is it me? What does this me mean here? It's the negative. And we've seen it already here with makelish. right? But with this M, where is the A and where is the sh here at the end? Oh my God. What happened here? Well, the M, this is, you can't hear a consonant at the beginning, and then you can skip the A. You just put the M, mem. And the sh at the end disappears because this is one of those words, nothing, that is already negative. So we're not going to put an extra sh. It is already negative. It's already nothing. So mem shane. No sh here. Li, that, nistau, we can, namlu, we do. Don't forget, we can do. Twice, you have to conjugate the verb twice. So literally, we can, we do, but we can do together in Maltese. Good. Wer is chauffeur ou wahdu? True, or true story, if you want to get creative. Chauffeur, the driver. And you may think, wait, here we had an I. Where is the I here? Well, yet again, the word before ends with a vowel, so we drop the I. True, the driver was alone, or is alone, that's better, is alone. Ooh, present tense. Alone, wahdu. This wahdu is conjugated as well. Alone, you have the u here. Why? Because it's the driver. We're talking about a man, one man. We're going to say wahdu. For example, if you want to say I am alone, jena wahdi. The I, so it's conjugated like aan dek, andi, aan dek, andu, etc., etc. So you have to conjugate it here depending on who is the person that is alone, or like on his own, or on her own, or their own, etc., etc. So person says, there's nothing we can do. Yeah, that's true. The driver is on his own. He's the one who's driving. We can't really drive instead of him. Good. Let's scroll down a little. Hafna nis fitoro ilum. There are, or there, am often used with to be when you can't see another verb. Just like in this sentence, there is no verb, so then it's going to mean there is or there are. And here, in this case, hafna, there are a lot of people. Hafna nis fitoro ilum. Today. Ilum, I is there. Why? Here. There is a consonant. Fitoro, this first time I saw this one, I was like, what does that mean, that word? And it's very easy, actually, because this is the plural form of tri. Tri means street, and you obviously, if you're in Malta, you see often the names of the streets, and all of these streets, well, not all of them, but many of them have tri in their name. And toro is the plural. All right, so in the streets, there are a lot of people in the streets today, or there's a lot of traffic today. You could translate it a little bit more freely. There's a lot of traffic today. Iva, nispera li mushse kolna accident. Yes, I hope, nispera, if you know Italian, surely rings a bell, that here it is not literally will, and then ikolna, we have, accident, accident. By the way, there is no normal C in Maltese. If you're looking for it, won't find it. Not part of the alphabet. It's not the same as for this J with a little dot. There is a J without a dot, but there is no C without a dot. Good, but what did this mean? Yes, I hope that he is not, will be, we have accident. Well, if you're going to put the future tense, so this is we will have, then if you want to put it in negative, you have to put mush here. Mush se korna accident. Yes, I hope that we won't have an accident. Ikolna, the J here, contrary to the I that is dropped with ilum, the J changes into an I if it's if there's a with a consonant. If this would have been a consonant, then this would be an I. Yes, I hope that there won't be that we won't have an accident. Ikolna, future tense of to have, also present tense, but for the future tense you have to use ikolna. For the present tense you can also use anna. So we already know a word of the next sentence. Milin as anna vantage we had isharabangs umapsabhito. Milin as, at least. Anna, we have. Vantage, advantage. We had one. So you put it behind here. At least we have one advantage. The charabancs, so the buses, other word for bus, charabanc, also the name of a famous TV program. Well, famous in Malta. It's kind of a talk show, a charabanc, without the article, charabanc simply. So you can look it up on YouTube or anything, and then you can have a nice talk show in Maltese. Isharabanks uma psahitom. The buses are strong. Good. So, next one, Kamentichinika ilum. Again, how cynical you are today. Ilum, again, eyes dropped because there's a vowel here at the end. How cynical you are today. You're so cynical today. Kamentichinika ilum. Ah, il carrozza t'allinea. That's together the bus. Il carrozza t'allinea. Il carrozza without t'allinea would be the car. Carrozza. Il carrozza t'allinea se ti af isa. Il carrozza t'allinea, the bus will se. So se, that's the future tense. Ti af will stop now. Isa is now. The bus is going to stop now. Good. Why is it ti af and not yi af? Well, carrozza, that's female. Most nouns that end with a are female, so then you have to conjugate it with the female form of iaf. Iaf and the imperative would be iaf. And then, well, here you see it conjugated. Good. Then sentence, we're at a famous sentence, move back please. When I was in Malta, I heard the phrase sometimes, move back please, when there are too many people in the bus. The driver would say, move back please, and this is the equivalent in Maltese. Move a bit to the back. Daarheen a little bit. Good. But yeah, so that's the Maltese. Sometimes they say both, I guess. All right. Mem spațiu, there is not. Mem means probably there's an is here. Spațiu, space. You recognize it here. Spațiu. Alfein et jait dan. Alfein, why? Et, present continuous, jait, he says, dan this. So why is he telling this? Et jait. Remember, et not conjugated. Jait. Oh, excuse me. I had a little bit. Excuse me. So why is he telling this? My belly was doing a little bit weird. Okay, good. But that's not so important. Alfein, why? You may wonder, well, feign where? Yes, feign alone is where. You could also translate it as to what end, or to which end, alfein. Et jait, he is telling, so present continuous, do not conjugate it, he is saying this. Dan. Forsi maïstage jara warata charabank. Forsi maybe, maïstage, he can't, so ma and then sh for the negative. Jara, he sees. So remember that when you're having a negative, you just put the ma sh with the first verb. You're not going to put it on the second verb too. He can't see. Back, wara, it means after. Waran of sinar, afternoon, maybe you know that. Wara is, but also back. de charabanc of the bus. Maybe he can't see the back of the bus. Good. Dejem blavanturi Tallinja. Dejem always. With. Aventuri adventures. So always adventures. With. Tallinja. With the bus. So you always get adventures with the bus, or when you're driving with a bus. Flahar milahar achna hayin. Flahar in the last mil of the last. Sounds a little strange, but it means bottom line, or in the end, something like that. We are hayin, alive, or like, oh well, always adventures with the bus, but at least we're alive. You would say in English. Haya, that's life, and hayin, we are alive. Ahna, we are. Good. I hope you liked it. Let's read it again and try to understand the dialogue. Budgie. Oh, ain't you alright? Io ai lallu, grazie alla Budge. I chauffeur Tallinja die bedai su, abel kulhat kin bileda. Lan askin educat alle mushbank. Alish, ma kellish in asmin €10. Ueja, kemahnas fortunatelum. Almeno asal e direzione taiba. Kiku konti lim allem tia. Andek ragiun. Ara abaswa va talbiza. Dar saplinessa? Mela, en niet reulu ideum al wafa. Ulflistasin isu malairvis. Umbat, mem shein li nistau namlu. Ver, ni shufiru wahdu. Em hafna nis fitor ilum. Iva nispera li musse kolna accident. Melin as an avantage wihet e charabancs psahitum. Camenti cinica illum. Il carrozza Tallinja setti af issa. Move back, please. Mem spaziu al fein et jaitan. Fossi majistasia warata charabanc. Dejem blavanturi Tallinja. Flahar milahar achna hayin. Alright, I hope you liked it. If you want to have the dialogue in a PDF, again, click the link in the description below, and you have more of these little dialogues. Here you see it. There's another suggestion appearing here. So see you there, and have a good day. Goodbye.